Hi there, my name is Mutolani Babalola. Welcome to my space. Today we're going to be talking about something different. I'm saying different because it has nothing to do with the book I just wrote or anything about branding, or maybe 9 to 5 or the serious stuff. But it's something that affects every part of our lives and it relates to everybody. Everybody can relate to it. And it's the thinking of not taking rest. Like rest is for the weak. And also glorifying burnout. I've seen a couple of videos online where people say stuff like, if you sleep 8 hours a day, you are lazy, you have no future, all takes like that. Or some successful people, at least this particular video that I know I saw one time was a white woman. She's acclaimed a billionaire and all of that, and she had mentioned something about what does burnout mean. Like she can't relate, that's nothing. It's trying to just play it down, and it's just an excuse to be lazy, and there's really nothing to take seriously around the word or the term burnout. And she doesn't even see the need for someone saying, oh, I need to take a break and all of that, especially if you really want to go for the best. Anyways, I have a different opinion, and this is my opinion. Grace is a word that I am coming to understand in a different way this year. The Bible says that the race is really not to the swiftest or to the quickest. It's really not about that, and our paths are really different. So if we think that the way to success is only by working hard and burning out, we've missed it. We've taken away the concept of grace. We've also taken away the part where we need to rest because we need to recharge, rest because the body, the mind, and our entire being functions better when it is cherished, it is nurtured, and it is well taken care of. And what I see with burnout is that when burnout happens every now and then, it means that there is something we have done wrongly with our body, our system, our mind. When we say that we're falling into depression sometimes, if you trace it back, it might just be that you just needed to take a break from something. And this break that I'm saying does not necessarily have to be a big pause where you just put your life on hold. We know that's not realistic, especially when there are bills to pay, we have responsibilities. But it means that we really need to look at it from a different lens. That how do we actually rest without pressing a big pause, because we do not all have that luxury, and not also glorify burnout. Talking about burnouts at the start of the year, or yes, because we're still in the first quarter of 2026, is very important because for me, I'm taking a different approach into the new year to give myself grace. Life is busy and like I always say, life is hard, right? And we have different responsibilities. We also have different aspects of life tugging at us. So I won't play it down. Burnout is real, and I do not want to belong to the group of people who glorify burnout or not taking rest, or who treat rest as a reward. That is, rest, you only rest when you've achieved. You only rest when you've arrived. That's not true. And that's so unhealthy. Many people are working, but they are working corpse. And that's because we carry so many things. We allow ourselves to get soaked into the stress, the pressure, overwhelming pressure that life, throws at us in different ways. And now we've been told not to think about resting, or if you even complain about feeling a certain kind of way, you are termed unserious or maybe lazy, or you do not know what you're doing. We've taken away grace from how we all move to achieve our various goals or how we move on with life. I'm just here to give a different opinion or just share my own point of view. That I'll be my number one cheerleader. I'll be my number one grace giver, aside God, of course. I need to give myself grace, right? Life is hard. Work is hard. Responsibilities are never ending. Our goals are never ending. In fact, when you achieve one goal, another one comes up. So no, rest is not for the weak, and rest is not a reward. Rest is important. Rest should be part of our lives. Rest should be normalized, and we shouldn't glorify burnout. And if you're thinking that burnout is just another buzzword, have you ever felt tired and taking a break doesn't even seem like a solution? Have you ever felt like you were carrying a whole lot on your shoulders, but you can't really pinpoint what it is? Have you ever sat and you sigh repeatedly? You've done it like 5 times within an hour, and you really cannot just even pinpoint what it is. Have you ever felt like you're doing so much, you're working so hard, but there's really nothing, or you're not even satisfied, or you're not so satisfied? You feel like there is still more. And don't get me wrong, talking about burnout or talking about the concept of taking rest does not mean that one wouldn't be ambitious. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's not a straight path. Life is not also a linear path. We'll all live our lives differently, and we should give ourselves grace. We should actually nurture our bodies, our minds, right? Be aware, be conscious of our state of minds. And maybe, people, you have lesser people talking about depression or mental incapabilities if they are taking more time to giving themselves more grace and also resting intermittently. And I'll say something about rest, that it's not supposed to be a reward. It's not supposed to be once I finish everything on my to-do list, then I'll rest. If you feel tired, take a break. And it doesn't always have to be fancy, because our lives are different and we have different realities. For me, I know this might sound funny, and I don't know, should I even share it? I think I'll leave that for my Substack community members. So if you are not following or you're not subscribed to my newsletter, you should subscribe to my newsletter already. There are some truths or some secrets I share from time to time, right? That's a safe space. This is a safe space, but it's still the larger internet. Anyways, right? So rest doesn't always have to be fancy, or taking vacation in the Bahamas or traveling to Bali, because we will not always afford that, and our realities are different. So does it mean that only a class of people are entitled to rest or taking such breaks? But I think it starts from a place of awareness and being very conscious of, oh yes, rest is not a reward. It should be normalized. It should be part of my lifestyle. And giving ourselves grace. I say it again, we need to give ourselves grace. We push ourselves so hard, which is not bad. But again, as hard as we push ourselves, we should inculcate the idea of resting. Resting could be a 5-minute nap during the day, if you can afford it. It could be taking a walk, just taking your mind away from work, or any form of work. It could be as simple as, I'm retiring home and I'm just going to sit in front of the TV with my favorite plate of food, and I'm just going to relax and distress from a very long day, right? It could also be as simple as leaving work at work most of the times, right? Where you do not carry work home, or you don't make it a lifestyle. And it's only when it is very necessary. Very necessary. Let's not also deceive ourselves like it is always necessary. Some things can wait. Some things are important and urgent. Some things are urgent, but not important in the scale of things, right? Some things are not even important, and we dedicate so much of our energy to it. I think it's high time that we all just, take a stock of what saps my energy, or what are the things that I dedicate so much time to, and see if there are things that really align with what you want. And just really scale of preference. And again, it can always change. This can rank high this time around, or this period, on your scale of preference reader, and in another 2 months or 3 months it has to be readjusted. We need to normalize rest, taking rest. As hard as we push ourselves, we also have to rest. Burnout is real, and we shouldn't glorify it. We shouldn't glorify burnout. We shouldn't take pride in saying, oh homo, I'm so tired, I have walked the length and breadth of. Nah. There's no reward for that. And this is also the year where we start working smart and not doing all of the hard work. Yes, hard work is important, but again, work smart. Work smart. Where am I channeling my energy to? How does it move me from point A to point B? And then give ourselves grace. I'm going to give myself grace. If I have to take a nap, I'll take a nap. If I have to take a walk, I'll take a walk. If I need to take a break, even the shortest of break, I'll take a break. For one thing I know I'm going to do differently is not waiting till the end of the year to take my leave period or my leave days. You want to pile them up. No, rest is not something you leave to the finish line. Till the finish line, you do not leave rest till the finish line. Through the journey, you need rest intermittently. We need to normalize. That is what I guess all I'm saying in this video of mine is that we need to normalize rest, and that rest is not a reward for the finish line. When I'm done with this, I will rest. As I am gunning for this, I rest along the way. What rest means to you might be different from what rest means to me, but you need to define or know what rest is for you and normalize it. That in your journey to achieve more, your journey to greatness, right, rest has to be a part of the story. Finally, the words I leave for you today are: normalize rest. Burnout is real. Let's not glorify burnout. The race is not to the swiftest, and there's something called grace, and we should give ourselves grace. Until next time, bye.